Alrighty, let's see. Are we live? Is anyone there? Let me see if it's too loud. I think should be fine. Nah, maybe more. All right, let's see now. PJ, hey PJ, can you hear me well? Yeah, should be fine. Let me just adjust this a bit more. Yep. All right, awesome. Should be fine, I guess, right? Yep. Alrighty, so let's kind of start the stream slowly. Yeah, man, it's all about action, right? Life is all about being actionable, right? Not being theoretical. So that applies to everything. If you want to lose weight, you have to go and train. You can't talk about losing weight. So it's the same everywhere, right? Okay, it's very simple. It's just we often deceive ourselves just because we are lazy and we procrastinate. So we don't want to hear the truth sometimes, right? But at least many people don't want to hear the truth sometimes. But life is very simple. There's really it's very simple if you keep it simple, right? All right, so actually, I was going through a backlog today off stream, just kind of trying to aggregate a bunch of this. Actually, let me go to ChatGPT because that's where I kind of did it as well. So let's start with a little bit of refinement of this backlog has been created throughout all these streams over the years. So I need to kind of clean it up, and then now when we have actually almost finished the meetups feature, I'm gonna try organizing these streams better, have some weekly goals, etc. So I think looking forward to that. Let me see. So there's a CSV that this guy created for me. Can we actually import? How do you GitHub projects import CSV? Yeah, so they don't have it in the UI. We would need to do it, I suppose, via we would have to do it via their API, right? Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me just see what this guy created. Ah, no, that's useless. Okay. So, okay. There's actually very good ideas here that I want to implement a lot of these things, so that's good. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I thank you very much, man, for being here. Absolutely. Absolutely, dude. I'm also getting starting the stream now, so give me a couple of minutes. Raoi, thank you very much, man, for the follow. Appreciate it. Good to have you here, man. Okay, so actually, I'm gonna start the stream with something a little bit simpler, though. And I've been thinking a little bit about this lately, and so sometimes when I'm on my phone and I open Programming Network, I actually would like to just take a quick picture and leave some text, like, I don't know, I'm programming or of my workspace and stuff. And one thing that I've noticed, which absolutely is terrible, and I took me this long to realize, is that the UX is very bad. Like, so right now, if I take a picture that's, you know, too large, the you know, it's gonna fail, right? We can't post. Actually, I don't know if this one is gonna work. But either way, that's pretty bad. So I think, even though, yeah, should we do this now or not? Wait, let me. But I think I would want to kinda improve this so the either compression or whatever happens. You know, happens on the back end. So because we can't expect users to be reducing the image size on their computers, right? That makes absolutely no sense. What is happening here? What? Okay, so first and foremost, let's do a couple of things. This is very annoying. So we're gonna go to the we're gonna go to the feed. We'll go to thoughts. Then here, I suppose I'm using use tip tap. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's start. So last night I introduced this React form that I was supposed to replace my own use AJV, my own custom built library. So I think first step we're gonna do is gonna be, let's replace use AJV form, just like we did inside event form with React form. I mean, I'm not going to use third-party services for uploading images, right? There's many services out there. That's not the point. The point is building something that's self-sustainable, right? There are many services out there that deal with images, but that's not solving a problem the way that I want to solve it, right? This platform has to be built over the years, so it can self-sustain itself. No, I'm definitely not bootstrapping. I'm doing things the right way, so it has nothing to do with bootstrap. There's one metric in business called COGS, which is an acronym for cost of goods sold, right? And that refers to how much does your product that you're building cost to build and maintain and keep running, right? So every time you add a third-party service that you have to pay for, you put yourself in a place to be less competitive, because if you have to make money, now you have to charge more just to just to pay for these extra services you're paying. So there's no bootstrapping here. You need to make rational decisions, especially with these projects like this, where this project is not making money and probably it never will be making money. So the question is, how do you build it so it can live on its own almost? You know, of course, paying for 15 different services, I mean, I can do that, sure, but then I have to pay for them myself, unless you guys are gonna pay, right? Which you will not. You can see that barely anyone even subscribes, right, for like $5 or whatever, let alone. So yeah, so these things have to be built in a very pragmatic, intelligent way, keeping the cogs almost to zero, right? So cogs ideally should almost be zero. Yeah, okay, so this guy has actually failed, which is fine. Okay, let's see, because we introduced this thing last night, but let's thought form schema. Let's actually go back here. Let's see what's happening. Resolver, use for modem blur, default values, content is empty, great. Yeah, exactly. This is good. Okay, I'm gonna actually go with this a bit, because I'm gonna tell it, this is good. So AI has done almost great here, but not fully, but we'll tell it to do so. All good, all good. Because we already have utilities for this. Okay, cool. Oh, Doro, I love you, man. If you stay around, let me know. Can't wait to see you tomorrow, man. So I do have tip-tap utils somewhere. Okay, this is good. It kinda almost did well. Let's create tip-tap utils similar to API one. Inside our utils. And move that there. Then I'll actually just double check, because I wrote some of this stuff very, very long ago, so maybe. Apu, hey buddy, thank you very much for coming, man. Lucky, good to see you again, my dude. Thanks for coming. You can go to my LinkedIn. I've been working for 20 years almost, yes. Well, professionally, I've been working, I believe, for, I don't know, maybe 17. Where the hell is, man? Why do I fail with these commands so much? LinkedIn, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't use Twitch properly. I kind of suck at Twitch, so... there we go. Okay, very good. We'll kind of review this now. I'm actually still happy from the last night from the library. We kind of we're gonna slowly replace my own built in-house library with this thing. So that is very good. Wait, this is event form. Never mind. Okay. What the hell? You can, I mean, that's why I'm streaming, my friend. You can absolutely ask a question, yes. Of course, that's why I'm here at the first place, right? Can you suggest one open source repo to practice front-end and React on large-scale application? What is a large-scale application? Define that first. I mean, I'm very definitely happy to help you, but let me try to help you by guiding your thought process, not... So, can you define what is a large-scale application for you? How do you define what is large? And why does it matter? And then let's go from there. I'm 15 years almost full. Wait, are you 15 years old or... Yeah, are you 15 years old and you're saying you're full stack? Ah, I see. I mean, you're very young, so I don't think you're a full stack developer. You might think that, but do you have anything that you've built to prove that? Do you have any projects where you can showcase your skills, or is this your personal perception of who you think you are? So do you have actually something that you can share? Because if not, then it doesn't matter what you say you are. You have to have something to show for, right? Because the technology, these industries are incredibly large and complex, and unless you're a prodigy who've been coding since you're 8 years old, right? I would be, you know, I would be careful. But you're very young, and that's amazing. I'm very happy for you. Keep going. Don't misunderstand me. Keep kicking ass. But you know, you have to have something to show for. If you know, saying I'm 15 years old and I'm full stack, that is a very large statement, right? Josh, hey buddy, how you doing? Well, I mean, if you say to someone that you're a professional tennis player or that you're very good at tennis, you have to go and play tennis, right? So, absolutely, yes. I mean, words have no value at all. I mean, imagine I tell you now I'm a professional pilot, right? And you say, cool, bro. I mean, where's your flying, like, you get what I mean? So of course, I mean, if you claim something, you need to be able to prove it. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be programming, it can be design. It's like what it is that you can show, right? But do not get discouraged. That this stream, I'm a realist, so I'm not a content creator, not an influencer, so I'm just trying to help people genuinely. So I try to give every individual person who asks a question something honest, so you can take it and improve yourself. So, but amazing, you're 15 years old. Instead of wasting time playing video games, you're programming, you're doing something good with your life already. So absolutely amazing. Keep doing that. You're already doing probably better than most of your peers, right? Large scale application, Notion Medium. I just want to see that. I don't contribute to open source. I build my own things, right? So the best thing you can do is start building something, if under quotes large, right? Because fundamentally, size of the project doesn't define its complexity, right? That's why I wanted to ask you, what do you mean by large, right? The measure of complexity of something is not measured in line of code or number of pages, right? You can have an app that has 3,000 components and it can still be simple, depending what it does, right? But I would advise you to take something you're passionate about and start building that, because I think that is the best way to get there, right? I don't have the time, nor I would do open source honestly like that. At least I would never code for free. I would never code for free. And I would urge others to never do any work for free unless you're, you know, just starting and there's nobody who is willing to pay you. Then sure, you have to do it for free then anyway. But if somebody is willing to pay you, always aim to get paid. Never work for free. Never. Lucky, I'm very happy, man. Absolutely, dude. That makes me always come back to stream, kind of hearing comments like that. My pleasure, man. Actually, I think maybe this upcoming week we will be. So I'm just trying to you know, since I'm back now into streaming actively. Eventually, I just want to round up some things, finish some of these features on Programmer Network, and then we're gonna also spend a lot of time with this playwright, because I really need to add proper end-to-end tests. So I'm looking forward to this, because I suck at this. This is, to be honest with you, I mean, actually, I don't suck at this. I suck at this, actually. I mean, I've done it before, but I haven't been doing. Actually, I would say, to my defense, even if I have to justify myself, I would say that probably 95% of developers suck at end-to-end testing, mostly because typically for end-to-end tests you would literally have a dedicated testing team that sets these things up, because it takes a long time. Now what has changed today is AI. So the main reason why I think it would be worth for us to add some of these to Programmer Network, like to sign-up flow, to some of these core features that always must work, I'm looking forward to that. So now with the AI, we no longer need that much time to set them up and add specific attributes and stuff to pages, components, views. So I'm actually looking forward to this in a couple of days or maybe a week or so. We're gonna add a lot of end-to-end tests as well. Okay, let me just double check something, because I have TipTap's utils here. Images, images. Get plain text from TipTap content. Is this API a better implementation than the one in the front end? Because I wrote this one long ago, so let me see, because AI has written it a little bit differently from me. This is how I've done it, so let me see if my code is better than the AI's, at least if it was back then. It says, hey Alex, your code is better than mine. Haha, screw you, AI. In your face. In your face, AI. Yes, exactly. Yep. In your face, AI. The only thing you could say performance-wise, like we could avoid these functional maps here, right, and just use regular for loop. Let's see. Would there be a considerable performance benefit if we don't use a map and etc. we use for in or regular for loop? This is like mega optimization type of stuff, but it's worth asking, because if there's a lot of text that we have to process, because map, you know, for every character here, for every node, we have to execute a function. So it's just, let's see what, I don't know in V8 what's yeah, exactly. V8 heavily optimizes these things, right? Yeah, so the difference is marginal. I think GDT, yeah, I mean, could be, right? It could be, and that's exactly, I mean, I use AI to automate key presses. That's the core thing, right? I still, as you can see, always have to review it all and sometimes change it, and I love this. To be very frank with you, this is like, some people hate this, but after 2 decades of pressing keys all day long, I actually love to be the orchestrator. I actually enjoy this very much. Instead of manually typing const created is await, blah blah. I mean, I really feel no joy in that. Now I feel like being a mastermind behind it, and just exactly I still have to kind of code it, obviously, and I still have to correct it. You still have to have experience and taste and knowledge, sure. But I think, you know, I still enjoy not needing to manually write arbitrary things. Like there is no joy in writing this stuff manually. Oh, this is a string, and this is like, who cares, right? It's a declarative. The beautiful part of this is that it's so declarative, and declarative stuff is really good for AI. AI is very good at the declarative syntax, right? Because it can just string match easily. Okay, so the next thing would be the images here, but yeah. How do, like, guys, some of you have Instagram in this platform. Does Instagram have feed? Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Prince. Absolutely agree. That's exactly my experience. I just love that I can focus on quality and outcome and stuff. So Instagram has the feed, right? I mean, I only have LinkedIn and Programmer Network. So because what I want to, let me explain the problem. So one thing that I realized with my own Programmer Network platform, which really is very depressing that it took me that long to realize, is that first and foremost, the feed, so when I open Programmer Network on my phone, I want to be able to take a picture of something, write few words like, hey guys, I'm programming in my office, and then upload that, and because we do support images on the feeds. But so far, like, the image is part of this text editor, you have to kind of click there, and then if the image is too big, you know, you're gonna get validation error, blah, 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 right? So you can still do that, but the UX sucks. Every time I'm at work and I wanna, like, take a picture for the feed on our platform, I'm like, this image is too big. And who the hell on their phone is gonna compress the image, right? It makes no sense. So what I wanna do now is I either don't compress the image at all, compress it in the API, or let my Cloudflare images compress it, right? But also, like, if some of you, like, how does it work on Instagram and these platforms? And the main reason why I asked about Instagram, because I know that's probably the most popular platform for these types of images. So I'm sure that they've done probably, like, spend millions of dollars on research, their designers. So you're saying they do have the feed, like on Programmer Network, I guess. So how do you upload an image there? Like, what do you do? Like, does anyone? Yeah, Fastify is amazing. Fastify is amazing. So, like, like, on Instagram, how do you do that? No, but I don't mean the technicality. Don't worry about technology. I know how to do it, like, code-wise. I'm asking about the UX. Like, how do you, like, so you wanna kind of share the image on your feed. How do you do that? What is the UX? Do you, like, click somewhere, like, upload image, or what do you do? Rebecca, my friend, hey. There's a create button, okay. Fuck, I don't have this platform. Yeah, maybe that's why it would have been useful if I had this create button. Where is it? I've literally never seen this app before in my life, so. Yeah, yeah, I don't want to sign up, man. I really despise these platforms, so I'm very, like... Okay, so basically something like this, right? You click a plus. Like this, right? Okay. And when you click create, you get the modal to choose an image, right? So you click plus, and you're already in the image selector, right? Okay, got it. So basically like this. I see. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right. Cool. Okay, that's all what I... No, it's okay. I mean, I don't need... That's you guys. That's why we have each other here, so we can... I mean, it's also fun to... I know that I can do it, but I really despise these platforms, like, deeply from my heart. So I don't even want to make a fake account. These platforms just disgust me. They're the cancer of social interaction and society. Okay, I think that since people started using these platforms, Facebook and all of that crap, society has distanced itself from each other. Like it's absolutely insane. Okay, good. Okay, so let's then see what's happening there. So, okay, sure. Fine. Got it. Okay, so this is where we actually create a thought in our backend. Then we do a bunch of validation. Then we extract the tags from the... I'm using OpenAI here, so I use AI for this. I use OpenAI for this part. And then at one point, I classify the text. And then... so there's a lot of transactions here, but at one point in time, I must be uploading an image. Where is that? Classify text. Get tags, get plain text. Get content with images. Yeah, here, okay. I'm using Redis, yes, just for some things, yeah. I'm using cursor. How did this end up not... Very frustrating, okay. Exactly, correct. No, it's not Vim. I mean, I'm also a Vim user. I have been for many years, but these are just Emacs kind of... VS Code or Cursor is a fork of VS Code. And VS Code, typically, for those of you who have used, Emacs before, most of the shortcuts naturally in VS Code are Emacs shortcuts, right? So you can be very fast. You can be faster you can technically be faster in VS Code or Cursor than in Vim, literally. It's just different ways of doing things, right? Vim is a beautiful language, if you may, and it has a lot of interesting things, but it can become very tiring for some people, right? Especially with the UI work. So, for example, I will use Vim if I'm doing Kubernetes, if I'm managing my servers remotely, or my Ansible or Terraform or whatever, but I would never in insanity use Vim for UI work. That is literally, you have to be hating yourself to do that, right? When I see people doing UI and colors using Vim, right, it's just depressing. Why would you do that to yourself? It's just insane. I use Cursor to write Go, Python, C++. I mean, it's just a text editor. You can install a respective plugin. There's a Rust plugin. You can do C# even. Of course, I would not suggest that. I think actual Visual Studio is still the best IDE, proper IDE for C++ and C#, naturally, because it's been built by Microsoft, by the ASP.NET team, right? But yeah. Okay, all of this is great. We validate this. I convert the image to base64 to a buffer because I actually upload base64 as a multi-part data. So all of that is correct. I wrote this code very long ago. Okay, image out of context, also fine, blah, 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 fine, fine, fine. Validate image. So this is probably where I wrote it eventually, most likely yeah, exactly. So max file size is here. Exactly, right, exactly. Let me actually read about, because I'm using Cloudflare images, and I don't remember if they do have some compression on the edge that they call. I don't process images. I don't process images myself at all. I compress them in the UI to like a lossless quality, and my API just validates them. It doesn't. I mean, when I say I don't process them, my API is not compressing them or doing anything with them. So it's just saying, it's just checking the meme type, it's checking the file size. Yeah, so they have actually released the transformations, but that's not what I'm looking for now. Wait. No, this is Solonest. What the hell is this, man? Cloudflare. Yes, okay, so these are my images, as you can see. Delivery. Flexible variants allow you to create variants with dynamic resizing. Once activated, it's possible to use resizing parameters on any cloud. Yeah, exactly. So you can see what you can do with Cloudflare images, which are basically hosted on their own R2, I believe, which is equivalent to S3 on AWS or cloud storage on GCP. Essentially, you can enable these flexible variants. So every time an image is uploaded, what they do is they take that image and then create variants off of that image. So if I upload a desktop version, for example, they will create any variants that we defined here. So as you can see, we have mobile and we have public, which is the desktop. So here we would say, hey, well, you know, for every image that I upload, then, you know, scale it down or whatever, make it cover, and then preserve this size or whatever. Actually, I don't feel like doing this in a stream, but actually I think this is what we should do to solve this problem of size, because I'm sure that then we kind of delegate this to their servers to do the optimization, because I pay $5 a month for this, so it's basically free. It's basically free, and we don't need another microservice to deal with files and shit like that, right? Yeah. Okay, but I'll keep that in mind. I don't have the time for that now. So I think yeah, this is hard, man. This is hard because this is hard. Not technically hard, but it's UX wise it's hard. So we need to have a way to don't impose these UI limits at least, while still dealing with these images, so we don't end up with massively huge things, right? Yeah, Josh. I mean, I think that is more or less also possible. Yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, yeah, if you're not using any of these Cloudflare image features, then you're right. There's nearly no difference, right? Almost at all. Yeah. Give me 1 second. I mean, the only thing I'm thinking right now, the quickest fix, because I don't have a... So we have to find at least a temporary solution. And temporary solution basically is just bump this size to... No, I mean, but we write it down and we fix it. It's just, but I'm also not happy with that. So I would just, shit, let me just check my phone, right? Because I'm just gonna check program and actually, no, I don't have to do it. Let's just check it on the, because I'm not worried about desktop version, right? I'm worried about this version here, because when you, so you guys are saying like on Instagram, when you press this, I work as a tech lead. You can find my profile here. And hopefully soon as an engineering manager, but let's see. So you guys are saying Instagram has this plus, and when you click it, they open up an image, right? So I'm thinking maybe this plus on mobile, instead of opening a tip tab, it should also do the same. And then when you choose an image, maybe we kind of render it somewhere and we show like an additional input below, like in case we have to, where you can add a optional text. But I just want to be able, oh, I'm somewhere in a conference, in a technical conference, like, and I want to kind of share with you guys I'm there. So let's talk from the UX perspective. I open my phone, I open Programmer Network, I'm like, bam. Okay, it opens the camera. I see. Okay, good, thank you. I mean, again, let's just assume that that's the correct way, because it's the Instagram, so they've spent, again, a bunch of money to do that. Okay, very good, thank you for that. So, okay, so let's research that a little bit, right? Because I really would like to be more active on my own platform, right? And sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go now and you know, share an image with people on Programmer Network. Ah, fuck. Image is too large, or I need to like, so it's about the UX, right? Okay, let's kind of talk to AI a bit. This is not about technicalities, but rather about the UX. So okay, let's do it. On the mobile device, I outplayed my friend. Good day. When we want to share a thought on our feed, when I press the add icon in the bottom mobile bar menu, we open up more or less the same tip-tap editor. Whatsoever on mobile, that UX is not great, and we would love to make it more like Instagram, which apparently opens up a camera app or whatever, where you choose an image and share it. We want to do something similar. Essentially, the UX for mobile has to be vastly different and frictionless, unlike desktop. Okay, let's discuss this. That's really concerning, man. Like, this is you're the fourth person that complains about Twitch, right? So I don't know. I don't know how many other people join this stream and they just leave because they have that, right? Works on my computer, exactly. Yeah, but am I still streaming in 4040p? Is that the issue? Am I still streaming? Because if that's the case, I should... Yeah, but how come I'm still streaming at 4040p, man? Yeah, but I removed that. Jesus, man. It's 100% that. It's 100% that. It has to be that. Ah, man, that sucks ass, dude. So how do I reduce that? I thought that I thought literally that I am streaming at a 6000 bit rate. So 6000 bit rate is, wait, let me show you. Recommended bit rate Twitch. Oh, I know what the problem is, man. I'm not downscaling to, yeah, because my base canvas resolution is 4040p, but my output resolution is the same, so I'm not downscaling the quality. Oh, that sucks. No, yeah, I mean, yeah, but it kind of sucks that I have to downscale. That's just so dumb, man. When you interview someone, okay, there's just a couple of questions to answer. When you interview someone for no TypeScript position, what do you look for? I mean, I typically don't care about too many technical questions when I interview people. I care about some other things, right? I care about... It's a little bit... When I interview people, I try to make the interview more as almost like a casual discussion rather than interrogation. So my goal always is first to try to make the interview a discussion, not like I ask a question and then the person answers, number two. And then asking purely technical questions in an interview, typically people who don't know how to interview, they do that. Because these types of things anyone can memorize, especially if you interview them remotely, that's even more meaningless, right? So I'd rather like to make that conversation and then slowly extract information from people as when they relax, and then share some either our own product and say, hey, what you would do here, maybe guide us, right? Asking things such as how does the event queue works, or what is V8 and stuff. These are meaningless questions, right? These are things you can literally memorize and they have no significance of someone's skills, right? Or explain me prototypal inheritance or variable hoisting, or I mean, these things are good to know for you, and every developer should know them if that's your runtime and that's your language. But I would not ask people like what is a router or what is an API, right? That is absolutely meaningless. Is web development worth in 2025? It is, yes. So interviewing people in the context of technical skills is getting harder and harder because there's so many tools where you can cheat, right? And I mean, again, it's actually not even that simple, right? There's so many tools where you can get instant answer to anything that basing the hiring like purely on someone's technical answers is you really have to be stupid like fuck, right? If you hire someone today because they answered technical questions correctly, you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. So that is the problem, right? So because requirements and skills are simply different today. Today you need to try to get more of a domain system design knowledge and more of an experience and stuff rather than can you write a cryptographic algorithm, right? Who the hell cares if you can write that? Nobody. Only an absolute moron can ask that type of stuff. And actually people who ask this are actual morons, because I met many of them over the years, and the sentiment is that, oh, well, I have spent 15 years practicing lead code, and now I expect everyone else to also know that, right? So you have a bunch of these dudes, mostly dudes, who are just very frustrated that the time they wasted on that garbage is no longer relevant, and then they try to do the same, right? So interviewing is becoming more of a challenge than before, and you need to know what it is that you want to get out of people. And the irony also of interviewing is that 99.9% of people suck at it. I suck at it, and let me just keep in mind, no matter where you interview, in very rare occasions, unless it's Google or somewhere, note that that person that's interviewing you has maybe hired 5 people in their entire career. Like I have hired in my 15 to 17 years of work, I have hired maybe 5 people in total, right? Solving lead code hard tasks mean absolutely nothing. That's a complete waste of time. It means absolutely nothing. Zero. It has zero meaning. Okay, wow, very interesting. It's not Warren Buffett, man. I don't even, I mean, I'm not yet that depressed to listen to what Warren Buffett says. Everything I say in this stream is based purely on my personal experience. And I have experienced terrible people who interviewed me, and I have also experienced times when I'm interviewing and things go wrong, right? So asking idiotic questions about some technical details yields no results, right? Because when you get a job, there's so many things that matter, and none of that has anything to do with can I write a bubble sort, merge sort, or whatever. You have to make sure that the person you're hiring is not a psychopath. Can they work with people? Can they communicate? Can they make balanced decisions based on business needs? Can they disagree and solve conflict, etc., etc., etc. So there's so many things you want to get out. Not do you know what is a channel in Go, right? I mean, you would expect that stupid type of stuff to work, right? So so again, interviewing is a deeply random and broken process, and you know, never take it personally. Never take it personally. If you don't get a job, or if you do get a job, either way, never take it personally, because again, if you get a job, you were lucky. If you don't get a job, you were unlucky, because again, like you said, for every job you apply, there's hundreds of people. So it's very random. What's not, of course, random is that, of course, luck is something you also create. So better you can package yourself, better you can ship yourself. That luck is a little bit. You have a higher chance of having luck, right? So luck is still a thing you control to some degree. But then from the moment you get an interview, you can do everything great. And then there might be another dude or another girl who also did the same. And at the end of the day, you're going to pick someone that you just clicked with better, right? So, and I feel this often when I interview people. I felt that, for example, I interviewed with GitLab a couple of years ago, right? I interviewed with GitLab, and I very quickly got to the last round, and I kicked ass in the last round as well. And I told my wife, like, Diana, like 100%, you know, I just interviewed with GitLab, and I'm gonna work there. I expect them tomorrow to just give me an offer. And then tomorrow I get an email, oh, we're sorry, we went with another candidate. And I'm completely confused, like, what the fuck, man? Like, I just crushed it. And then I realized, in retrospect, that the last guy that was supposed to be my, like, engineering director got completely intimidated. Like, I think he felt, because I also didn't feel the energy between us was very good. And actually, to his defense, yes, I was pissed, because of course life is not fair, let's not pretend it is, but I was kind of pissed. But then I also realized, fuck, actually that guy was right. Him and I would just have very desperate time working together, right? No, fuck that. Was I better or worse? It doesn't even matter. You can't have two people like me in the same team, because I'm very ongoing, I'm stoic, I'm very like pragmatic and hands-on and very like pushy. So if you have two people who have to do a similar job, you're not gonna have a great time, right? So you need to. So this is also an art of building teams. I'm not the correct person or the wrong person. I am who I am, right? And then you have, you know, like that is the hard part about building teams. You have people in the team who are vastly different, and that's typically good because you kind of, you're unique snowflake. Yeah, I mean. Exactly, not even unique. I would actually say that's not true. I'm like just different, right? So you know, my wife is like, compared to me, like a massive introvert, and that's why we've been together for 17 years, because we complement each other. If she was like me, we probably wouldn't be together for 3 months, right? Exactly. Yes. So by the way, actually here it is. This is what we kind of just did with AI. Let's kind of, but super nice discussion, genuinely. Yeah, programming network is we have more than 2,500 programmers signed up there. Yeah. Please sign up if you have a second. It literally takes no time. What the hell? Flex justify center. Yeah, why? Yeah, that is a bit weird. Give me 2 seconds. Choose. Yeah. What? Really? Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna, because paragraph is a block type element natively in CSS. So why is this? I mean, I don't typically operate in a context of boss. You know, I live in Copenhagen. Here, we have very kind of flat hierarchies, and even if someone is your boss, we hate using that word. So I don't when I hear a word boss, I get an allergy instantly. So we typically don't use the word boss. That's just triggers me instantly. Nobody's boss, right? So we can have different roles, different responsibilities, and that's fine to acknowledge that. But word boss, I work as a tech lead. I run my team, but I much rather like to say I am behind my team than I'm in front of my team, right? So, like, there are some very good leadership books that I would highly advise many of you to read. Even if you're not leaders, you can learn a lot from them. Currently, I'm actually reading, let me just tell you, a book that I highly recommend. It's gonna literally change your life. It's called Leadership Strategy and Tactics by Leadership Strategy and Tactics. So this is a very good book. This is something I'm reading right now. Take a look at it. And this Jocko, this ex-Navy SEAL guy, he described in the book, in one of the chapters, he describes their ex-commander, chief commander in the Navy SEALs, how he acted. I'm gonna cut it short, and then he describes the good one that they had, and he speaks about just tiny wording in leadership matters a lot. So when their new commander came, he said, "I'm so happy to be here working with you," and then So it's vastly different when if you have a leader in your organization who is like, I told my team to do this, I did this, whatever. So even the slight wording and your expressions can make you vastly different type of leader, under quotes, right? So using words such as boss and stuff, I find that incredibly ancient, and I would never do that. That just sucks ass. As somebody asked, hey, I'm doing deployment on my SaaS written in Next.js first. Can I use Cloudflare? Is it okay? My platform is edtech where interaction happens often. Yeah, absolutely. Deepak ready. You can of course use you can use Cloudflare for anything. Yes, you're absolutely, man. You absolutely can. Dude, what's up with this? Why is the flex not working here? This is insane. What? Rani, amen, man. That's absolutely, dude. Nothing to add there. There's Oh, nice. Thank you very much, Josh. Thank you very much. I see. So it's in the middle. Okay, very good. I think we're gonna do the same. Okay. Got it. Thanks, man. Thanks. Very good. Dutch workplace culture is famous direct. I mean, I'm originally from the Balkans, Glog, so we are pretty much the same. Unfortunately, we live in the times of heavily sensitive people, of snowflakes or whatever, woke culture and whatever. And due to that, unfortunately, that sort of honesty is fading away because you have to worry about 500 things before you say something. And I think that's going to be the doom of our civilization at the end. Because you give someone feedback today and they're already butthurt and sad and whatever, and I find that incredibly problematic. But that's why you need to hire people who are also capable of taking feedback and stuff more than any time before in history, right? Yeah, I originally come from the Balkans, yes. I mean, I haven't been living there in many years, but yes. So we kind of had that in the Balkans many years ago. I don't know if that's still the case, but there was we wouldn't even call it directness. It would just be like you just say how it is. If you suck at something, somebody tells you, bro, don't do that, right? And that's it. I mean, not more, not less, right? Oh, camera solid. Oh wow, that actually sucks. Shit. Camera outline. Okay, camera outline. I don't know how to code, but I want to make a video game library. Where can I go to make it? No, you cannot. If you don't know how to code, you cannot. No. I'm sorry if I skipped some questions. If so, just ask it again. It's a lot of chatter right now, so I'm not sure if I skipped something. If so, yeah, please just ask it again. It's a very good book, yes. I have read it myself, yes. To be honest, Deepak, I don't use Next.js and any of these, as I call myself, garbage, half-baked abstractions of React and stuff. So I wouldn't know, to be honest with you. I hope you have a reason why you're using Next.js at the first place. And why not just using a simple UI library such as React or anything else? So you would, of course, have to kind of answer that for yourself. But, not sure to what to say. I don't know the details again. The whole Vercel and all of that crap I don't use myself, so it's kind of hard to know, right? That's not a suitable argument to change the whole stack to something, right? SEO can be achieved in many ways, and you also don't have a proof to prove that. I mean, you literally don't have a proof to prove that. I'm sure that you've heard that, and many people have heard that, and you went with that because you heard that, but you actually never profiled or tested that claim. You're just saying better SEO because you read it somewhere on a blog, you read it somewhere else, and I get that, that's fair enough, but that's not objectively true. That can be true, but it's not always true. That is the argument that the whole internet shares, and when you challenge it, it's like, okay, do you have the proof that that's actually true? Nobody has the proof, right? So because nobody has actually validated that. It's just basically the same repetitive thing, right? That always goes. Somebody said that long ago, and yeah. You know, when every technical decision has its own implications, right? I'm not saying that nothing is absolute. There's nothing that's absolutely better than something else. Things are different. You need to make sacrifices when making technical decisions, and you need to make sure that when you make them, because they define, so technical decision has nothing to do with technical things. Technical decision, when I talk about it, I talk about execution, I talk about simplicity, complexity, and many other things, right? So when you make technical decisions, you're making business decisions. Nobody cares about technicalities. You're making decisions, how's the developer experience, and so many other things. So when you choose these abstractions that are also ironically and coupled to all of these crappy platforms like Vercel and stuff, that's a massive business decision, right? Because you've chosen something that this idiotic React team has made a decision to couple themselves not just to that server-side rendering bullshit, but also to couple themselves to some provider. It's called basically like a provider lock-in, right? Hopefully now when React is open sourced, hopefully they will take a different reaction, focus on the library itself, and not on satisfying some AWS abstraction such as Vercel, right? So let's hope that now they will continue making, or vendor lock-in, exactly. So let's hope that that will change, and that because it's absolutely disgusting. If Vercel or any of these people want to build these solutions, more power to them, but the core React team should not be satisfying a single company, right? In what it is that they want to do. So it's just plain dumb. later. But yeah, that is how it is, man. That is how it is. You make certain decisions technically, and that is how it is. Every decision, as I said, has a consequence, right? What? I mean, do we really actually need these icons? Do we need it? I guess we do, right? Alex, are there dev jobs in Denmark in cities other than Copenhagen? Yeah, there's a couple of other cities for sure, but they're predominantly Danish, and in many cases they require Danish language. So you could say that Copenhagen is the kind of, as most capital cities in the world, kind of the more international, right? All right, let's take a look at this, because I'm just worried a little bit about UX here. Yeah, Danish is, let's just say, not a very easy language for sure, man. It is definitely not an easy language, I can tell you that. An Acer, yeah. I mean, it's just think about it logically, right? Just think about it how you work, and I think that type of structure just comes naturally, right? Because I think, yeah. Actually, I think I'm gonna be very happy with this for the most part soon. I think one thing we can do on mobile, so as somebody has shared, yeah, so something like this as well. What? What is it doing now? Okay, we need to do a massive water drink. Okay, will do. Thank you. Yeah, this AI sometimes is genuinely absolutely terrible, but it is because yeah, it just kind of loses itself sometimes. It's okay, it loses itself sometimes. Too many, man. You've been watching me for too long, dude. You've been watching me for too long. All right, guys. Let me try one thing. I'm gonna stop the stream. So let me stop the stream. Let me change the output to 1080p, and then you guys tell me if still some people are still having like issues. So let me try that. I'm just gonna stop the stream and change the setting and then continue it. Okay, give me 2 seconds, okay? I don't know, are we live? Is it good now? Yeah, okay. Hopefully this is gonna allow more people to watch. because I never know how many people click and they just get an error, and it's like you still can see stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's the unfortunate thing. Twitch cannot handle the resolution, it seems, unfortunately. So yeah, awesome guys, thank you, perfect. Am I still streaming on YouTube? Anybody still on YouTube? If you are, type something if you can hear this. I don't know if I'm still streaming there. Yeah, I should be streaming there still. Yeah, I am. Okay, good, great. All right, let's continue. Yeah, super fast, mega fast. Yeah, actually, wait a minute. Okay, let's get back here. I never asked you to add back full-fledged TipTap editor. But yeah, let's do that now. Take it easy. Essentially, as we just agreed, a possibility for users to suggest some text, not only images. Okay, so we're gonna hopefully round this one up soon. Let me just take a look at this mobile experience. Then we have notifications here. What we could add, I suppose, now is also meetups. And where is this menu? Mobile to selection preview. Give me 2 seconds. So where is this mobile thoughts creator? Mobile thought creator. And then we have nav items here, right? So let's also do here name meetups. I mean, do people like me? I hope so, man. You know. Meetups, yeah, meetup. People maybe. Persons, group. I'm just trying to find some icon group work maybe. Yeah, let's try that. Icon group work. Yeah, okay, maybe. Yeah, that's nice. I think that's nice. Sure, yeah. Okay, that kind of sucks on mobile. We'll kind of do more with that. Share text, what's on your mind? Nice, okay, very nice, cool. Okay, we're gonna do that. Let's put that into TipTap utils. Let's see. Okay, so now we kind of on mobile. You have possibility because we're not Instagram, obviously, right? But I have built maybe 2 small games. I think first game that I ever was trying to build with some people I met online was maybe 15 years ago. I have still that repo somewhere on what was it called? Bitbucket. Yeah, and then I've built another game in this HTML5 framework called Phaser. I really like this. This was pretty cool. Very powerful for web browsing. And then I did some C# and C++. Let me just see, what was it? I still think I have that repository here. C++ lab. I used to write C++ when I was young, and then my email is literally, I had a website that I used to run, cplusplab.com. That was my domain at one point. I just don't remember if this was my account on Bitbucket though, but let's see. Wow, Microsoft has done such a nice work here. Hate C? No, why would I hate C? C is the core language of many other languages. No, I never said that. No. All of us started with C or C++ or Pascal, right? No, it's so it's not this email. Which email did I use? Or maybe let me try with some other emails. I don't remember. But it was definitely Bitbucket that we've used back then. No, it's not this one, I guess. Nah, not really. I don't think you understood that, then maybe Outplayed. I don't think I ever ranted about them at all. That makes, actually that makes no sense, to be honest with you. I think was it this one? Yeah, it's this one, maybe, yeah. So you can see this is 2013. So we used some, yeah, so we wrote in C++, we used the scripting language back then. We also used SFML. Yeah, I don't remember. I think this was it. This was it. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to some work here. What we did in the past does not fix the future, nor it gives it any benefits. So let's focus on now, not before. Also, why is there a scroll here? Is it because... Why is there an overflow? I think that every programmer out there who's been coding long enough has at one point tried to, build some sort of a game. I don't think that, all of us, when we were kids, we dreamt to build video games. But when we grew up and when we had to feed our families, then we realized, that's not very smart. So I don't know. Yeah, right? Yeah, yeah, but you don't put everything on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, you try to put things that are relevant, right? That is why some people never get a job. I look at the junior level application, and he says C++, Rust, C#, PHP, Java, JavaScript. That is like, dude, you're like 18 years old or 20. Like we're not asking you to write every single technology that you heard about, but technologies that you know something about, right? And I don't know anyone who can write more than one or two languages really well. Have you tried some languages? Have you worked with them a little bit? Yeah, that's great. That's cool, right? But that's not the question. Nobody asks, have you tried something? The question is, can you do the work with it, right? Nobody has doubts that people have tried things, right? But that's not the point. What's up with this scroll, man? This is absolutely fucking disgusting. What is this? Ah, I see. Okay. different languages, man, have different applications, of course, and you will not be writing CSS in C, nor you will be writing CPU drivers in JavaScript, right? So there's really nothing there unclear in that sense. Yeah, I mean, I probably did say something, but that's very unclear. I mean, you said something is not a very clear indicator what I said, right? So that's also very vague, right? Yes, did I say something about something? Sure, I did. But I said what exactly, right? If I spoke about assembly and said nobody has to write assembly anymore, I probably said that, yes. And that's also true, right? So, yeah. Okay, so this is actually not bad. Let's just fix some UX here. Let's kind of just but yeah, outplayed it. That depends on what the context of conversation is, right? Actually, it doesn't matter. You know what? How do you manage the SEO? What do you mean, how do I manage it? Like technically, or there's nothing wrong with SEO and single page apps. I mean, you create a sitemap, you make sure your pages load very fast. Like if you go to our production, everything loads in basically no time, instantly. So that's what matters, right? You have to have proper like tags and stuff like that as always, but there's not much to handle, right? And you have to have a sitemap. If you go to Google and you search for programmer network, right? We are obviously on the top, and then I mean, depends what terms you ask for, right? Like what you search for. But I don't do much, honestly. You have a sitemap, and then you get indexed. So if I go to Web Developer Tools or Google, actually, if we go here, and if we go to sitemaps, I don't use Reddit, no. I don't use any social platforms. I only have LinkedIn and Programmer Network. So yeah, so I have a sitemap here, and then all the pages are indexed. That's really all. So you can see some of them, there's some I haven't went through this in a long time, but also videos are indexed. We have a sitemap. Yeah, outplayed. That is still correct. Yes. Yes, that is absolutely objectively true. Yes. But nobody has been shitting on low-level languages. That's what you said originally. So that what you just wrote has nothing to do with your original statement. That is absolutely true. Yes. So you can kind of see here, right? What is shellcode? This is indexed, right? So, and our biggest problem on Programmer Network is that we don't have enough of content. People are not writing it. But fundamentally, there's no problem with SEO. The pages are indexed. These 1,360, I don't know what this exactly is. We don't actually have this many pages. So I would need to go through this and write. But all the pages that we do have, which are these, they are indexed, right? This is, I don't actually know what these, let's see, what are these pages? Okay. So I should probably go through this and check, but also I've recently kind of been messing with sitemap a bit, so all right, great. Posting your thoughts. Okay, wow, it did all that. Okay, cool. I think these two things. Okay, we're almost done with this. I think we'll then have to do a massive review just to make sure it's all fine. Yes, exactly. Now I like it better. Yes. Outplayed. I mean, I think you're kind of now conflating a lot of ideas. Yeah, all of that is true, right? I think your main point initially was that I or someone else was shitting on low-level languages, and that is not true. And you're basically saying now that it's not true, right? So everything else, you're opening up many other subjects, right? Everything that you said there, if I said it, is still true. Yes, people should start learning languages first where they can get tangible results, something visible, something concrete, and then walk backwards to low-level things, whatever low-level means for the given language, right? So that is absolutely true, yes. And that's why even MIT and a bunch of other universities teach programming very first classes through So that is absolutely true. Like if you look at the MIT first programming course of MIT, they're using a graphical tool to teach students programming, like drag a if statement here, right? So that is absolutely true, yes. So for sure, man. Oh shit, okay, the spinner is there, I see. Yeah, maybe we should update our spinner, but okay. What the fuck happened there? have an idea and I want to create that as business idea, like a CRM, but I'm not created yet production level web app. Can you suggest me what tools, instruction, tech I should follow? I mean, if you're not a programmer, building a CRM is going to be a very hard thing. That's impossible almost. So you need to provide a little bit more context before I can help you. I don't know what you mean, which tools you should use. Programming is a tool, and if you don't know programming, then it's going to be tough, right? Also, CRM, there's a bunch of new CRMs coming out now, and building a CRM is not even about technicalities anymore. It's about Salesforce has a huge market, HubSpot has a huge market, and stuff like that, right? So, but again, don't be discouraged by me. I'm building the most idiotic thing probably on earth, a platform, a social platform for the most antisocial group of people on earth. So this is not to challenge your idea, but it's to say that if you're not a programmer, building a CRM is going to be a very tough work for you. The CRM requires not knowledge of UIs, not knowledge of APIs. It requires knowledge of infrastructure, event-driven development, tracking, big data like data flows, Snowflake, BigQuery and stuff like that. So CRM is not a user interface where you can click something. It's nothing to do with that, right? It's a lot. It's a very complex thing, and I would say it's a great challenge. Let's actually, I think now after this prompt we're gonna clean this up on our own, because AI is now starting to fart out a bit, and then we should be done with this. Then I'm gonna actually test it. How would you process a real-time point, like a GPS point, that's being fed in at really high rate of speed? I mean, honestly, I think Redis is not really necessarily the right database for that. If I just can think off top of my head, I think you need some time-based time series database for that. So probably I would assume that for that such problem you would use influx data or something. I haven't used time series database much in my life, but I think for that GPS type of stuff I would probably assume that you would end up with, you need a different database, aka different data structure for that type of stuff. Now, of course, if the Redis works for you, clearly, if it can prove your MVP and, so you're building some CRM and you need to prove, hey, does this idea make any sense? Then, yeah, absolutely. Why time series? Well, because I suppose the GPS point is strictly bound to some time as well. I mean, you're probably tracking some point of something at a given time, right? I guess. I don't know. That depends on the problem. I don't know. I mean, I would have to know what you're built. It's very hard to find to provide you context with what to use, even if I know, without actually knowing what it is that the problem is, right? But when I hear GPS, to me, that's always, there's some object that we are tracking at a given time, right? I'm struggling to get good at CSS, whether it's pure or Tailwind. Yeah, UI and UX is hard, right? That is one of the hardest. As you can see on my stream, I mean, I can build anything really, with or without AI, but building nice user interfaces is a challenge. And that's a challenge that's not even strictly related to your talent or your eye, as people say. UX is the hardest thing when building products. Like products today that will get traction are products that are just superior in the user experience sense, right? So getting good at design and stuff means doing a lot of it and mimicking others, right? And also failing a lot with it. So if you want to build a product, you will spend so much time with the UI and stuff, because that is the hard part. That is unfortunately just how it is. CSS is very easy and very hard depending how you look at it. If you have good foundations on it, then it's easy. If you don't, then it's hard. But at the very minimum in CSS, you need to know how the block works, how the position works. So you know how position and display work. So the display block, display inline block, display inline, etc. Then the position property. Then you need to know the CSS box model. So how the box model works, how the obviously flexbox and grid and how they work, because fundamentally what's hard in the CSS is the layout, right? How do I make layout that's responsive, that makes sense, etc., right? And then when you learn that, then learning about these visual properties like shadow and stuff, that is meaningless for the most part. That's something you can just use a reference for. But to understand, to be good at CSS, you need to understand the box model, and you need to understand the core properties of it, right? And people who say, oh my God, CSS is hard. It's not hard. You just didn't learn it. That's all. Okay, beautiful. Let's push this to production, and then I'll test it. And then I'll test it on my phone. Again, most great designers, most people that my experience comes that everybody is mimicking, right? So you can't invent your own UI. That's impossible. Go to free CSS templates, right? And literally look at some of these things and say, okay, what it is that these things have in common? What is a modern design? Then you click on some of this crap and you say, okay, dark theme seems to be dominant at this time and age. This and that, blah blah blah, right? So this is you don't have the time to become a designer, right? And no, even the new designers are not reinventing past 30 years of web, right? You go to existing platforms, you see how they look, and you try to make it something that people are currently used to, right? UX is the hard part. UI is sure, it's a cool story. UI is also a matter of taste, and some people like it, some not. But the hard part is UX. So how do you make things? How do you make your product to feel good when you build it, right? let's research a little bit. Let's research a little bit. Is there Cloudinary? There was this Cloudinary service for images before. Image upload or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Is there some? Is there an open source similar tool to Cloudinary that I could deploy as a microservice for compressing my images and then uploading them to Cloudflare images? Okay, yeah, this is deployed. Okay, let me just check it on my phone. Let me open Programmer Network on my phone. Programmer Network. Programmer Network. Programmer Network. Programmer Network. I mistyped my password, shit. Okay, nice. I like it. Share text. Okay, no, not really. Okay. Photo. Use photo. Okay, that didn't quite work, did it? Okay, so almost. So now we need to just kind of fix the API. Yeah, we need to kind of reduce that uploading size. Okay, we will do that. Let's get back here. There are open source tools you can self-host that can act like a lightweight version of something like Cloudinary. Magic, thank you very much for the follow, man. That's awesome. And then you can push the results to Cloudflare images. Here are the few solid candidates. Oh, image proxy. Okay, let's see. I've never... What a high performance image processing server, open source to the core, supports on the fly URL based transformation, good performance, ready to run via Docker. If you want a microservice that handles image transformations and optionally compression format conversion, is a strong pick. You still need to integrate the pipeline, upload from clients, send to image proxy for transformation, or get the processed image, push the Cloudflare API. I mean, is this really necessary? I mean, actually, it's very good to know that some of these services exist. That's awesome. It's just like, do we need it now? Is the question. Do we need it now? Do we need it now? Or we can actually find, what about some TS library that we can just integrate as part of our Fastify for now until we need a separate microservice to deal with higher volumes, because I think this would be like a PJ, thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much for being active. I appreciate that very much. You kind of make the stream more fun and stuff. So appreciate that, dude. Thank you very much for chatting and stuff. Keep it going. C++, right? And then Java and C#, right? And then JavaScript, right? So when you look at this picture here, what does this tell you? This tells you that since the early days of programming, humankind wanted to make programming more accessible and less arbitrary. Nobody wants to write fucking assembly. That's true. Yep. C++, in my opinion, nobody should even be writing this. We shouldn't be figuring out how the CPU works. Yep. And one day, for sure, I tell you that we will not anymore. These are not something. These are the things that we suck at human beings at, right? Like this level of detail we shouldn't care about. Yep. So now today, smart guy actually. On these types of I should listen to this guy more. Smart guy. Prompting today and natural level stuff. Yeah, right? Exactly. So this is 100% correct. Yes, actually, I agree with myself. And this of course, this clip is taken out of context. Here we're talking about building products, right? So we're talking about building companies and stuff, right? And that is absolutely true. Human beings are not built to be able to be good at this level of detail, right? So for example, that's why we did our best as humankind to move away from things like assembly and stuff, because a human being is simply not wired to read hexacodes or binaries and stuff and convert that into things. Computers are great at that. Humans are not great at that, right? Humans are great at knowing what they want and explaining what they want often, and even then we suck. This is some sort of service developer for image kind of processing and stuff. So basically, it's a Docker image. It seems that we can use to. So this is very awesome, but I think it's a massive overkill for now. I'm just researching, like, I'm just talking to, so the gold standard for Node.js image manipulation, fast, stable, and easy, blah, blah. Yeah, this is maybe kind of what we need, right? This is maybe what we need. Yeah, exactly what we need. Exactly what we need. And also, so the web developer, you're absolutely right. It's just like programming network is such a low traffic site right now that there's really two ways. There's a one way, solve it and then solve it under quotes properly when it's needed, or go ahead and add a microservice that's just running idle, right? So the core question is which way to go. For sure, it's going to be intensive on CPU, no question about that, right? It's just with the current amount of traffic, I don't think I think it would be actually good enough. Okay, let's actually implement this. So okay, let's compose this now. due to the terrible UX for the users, let's completely remove the concept of file size and instead replace it with, in simple words, we don't want the users to fall into scenarios where we ask them, your image is too big, you know, make it smaller. That incentivizes the users to even post or create content. With that said, let's just ensure that any images users upload, we compress to the best of our ability and focus on UX rather than file size. Let's see about this. So, but it seems to me that this binary is fairly simple. You require it, you give it an input buffer, you do some method chaining API, and that's kind of it, right? So this looks great. Let's try to focus on the UX rather than telling people, oh, you can't upload this because it's too big, because that sucks. That's not a very like engagement promoting behavior. Yeah, okay, let's go with the WebM. Yes. Give me 1 second, my wife is calling. Okay, let's see. Note that we have image utils already, so we want to make any additional utils in there. Very good, very good. Okay, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. Yep, we need to install the dependency, of course. Very nice. Very, oh, I like this. I like this meta chaining API that this sharp thing provides. Very good. Very good. Okay, let's see what it did here. Very good. Basically did everything I told it to. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yes, WebP. Yeah, we got most of them. We got most of them outplayed, yes. We actually recently had a meeting about that as leadership. I actually have also another meeting about these things tomorrow, because we gave the developers, engineers, and the whole organization, like we created like a voting system. So we wrote the whole list to see who is using what, and then we narrowed down. So we have Gemini, we have OpenAI, we have Cursor, we have Claude, and a couple of others. But I don't use Claude, I only use Cursor, basically. And I use Gemini for deep research, market research, and then, so yeah. But for coding, I only use this. Because again, again, as I say, the best optimization of LLM models is your input. If you are articulate enough and understand what it is that you want to do, and you know how to do it, then that is the best optimization. If you just write some garbage text into any model, you're also gonna get garbage output. So it's a big investment. No, not really. It's not. No. Of course, everything is relative. Big investment relative to what? No, I don't think so. I think that most of us barely spend $5-10 a day on AI. So no, it's not really, no. Relative to the hourly rate of a developer in Denmark, it's completely free, you could say. Again, you always have to calculate it in a certain context, right? There's nothing more expensive on earth than paying salaries, especially in certain countries. Paying a salary here in Denmark is incredibly expensive, right? So yeah, so it's really all has to be put in perspective, right? Nothing's more expensive than paying engineering salaries. So AI, you want to hope that your team is going to use, right? You really want to hope that, right? Because if they're not using it, if your team is not spending money on AI, you're wasting a lot of time. So basically you want to incentivize people and tell them, what the fuck is happening here? Yeah, that seems entirely wrong. TN, thank you very much, man, for the follow. That's awesome. That's kind of you, man. Okay, so this is the latest image we uploaded, right? Is that what? Nah, this is not the image I uploaded. What? Or is someone else uploading it in the production? Oh, okay, new people have signed up. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Yeah, that is Daredevil, but and that, okay, so this is the image I actually uploaded, and what I'm trying to see is how big is this image. So you can see that it kinda I see. Okay, we'll see about that. But actually there's something else wrong here. There's something there's some rendering issue that we just saw. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Oh, never mind. So it's not. Okay, I just hallucinated there a little bit. Okay, let's take a look at this API change. This was very good. This was very good, I would say. This is very clean. I really like that. 1920, yes, resized. What is fit inside? How the image should be resized to fit both provided dimensions or one of cover contain fill. Default cover, okay. Yeah, that was awesome, dude. I think that was pretty awesome. Yep. Okay. Yes. All right, very good. I like that actually a lot. What is the change that I've done here? Just some Redis stuff. Okay, that's irrelevant. Even though, I mean, no, I'm actually not gonna push that yet. So let's deploy this, and that. Just ask them, absolutely, man. Even though I'm gonna round up the stream soon, but yeah, please ask. Of course, that's why I'm streaming. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Push that. Let's take a look at our GitHub API actions. Okay, that's running. Do they have some dogs for this? Okay, I just want to check some dog. Wow, I like this color. Preserving aspect ratio, resize the image to be as large as possible by ensuring its dimensions are less than or equal to both of those specified. Ah, I see. So you can, okay, very nice. Oh wow, that's a nice documentation, man. Whoever added this image, well done to you, my friend. Cover is also interesting. Contain, not really. Cover would have been fine, I guess. No, this is nice, man. Wow. This is so nice. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Actually, I should have just added, smack this as okay. So let's actually go back here. We were basically testing the mobile experience, right? So we were testing this and then whatever gallery. This is just a test. This is just a test. Yeah, that is let's say very long. That is taking very, very long. So something has either farted out. 6.3 megabytes. Fuck. That's why. Yep. Happily, thank you very much for the follow, man. That's awesome. So yeah, so why is this request not? I guess, I mean, if it's optimizing this image for this long, then that's not even feasible unless. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna time out, right? 100%, right? Let's actually try that again, because that is a little bit, let's say, concerning in a way. So let's take the same image, the big ass one, this one. Oh, we're getting 413. Isn't that like a limit size? Content too large, exactly. Oh, I see. And we're getting that because in our Fastify instance, I think we have maximum 5 megabytes of data, right? Well, I mean, you're 17, so you're not allowed to work yet. So that's number one. And number two, it's going to be very hard. I just have to tell you. It's going to be very hard for you and many other young people. And the best way to do it is to build things and, yeah, try to appear better than others. This is pretty much it. So I just have to tell you how it is. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I actually don't like this solution, but at least let's make sure we handle it and we respond with an error. And then we're gonna... So my advice for you is keep learning and see how you can be better than others. That can be like articulate how you talk about yourself, how you look like, how you... everything. You know, you're young, so I would say treat yourself as a product. Imagine that you're a pair of shoes or a candy in the store, and you ask yourself, why would someone buy this candy and not this one? So that is basically what it means to be on the job market, right? So the fact that you can write the React and stuff, many people can write React, right? So, and many people can write nodejs and stuff. So you need to stand out somehow, and in order to stand out, you need to do things which are simply better than your peers, right? So if you're a junior developer, you ask, how do I appear better than other junior developers, right? And that can be in many ways. You have better projects, you talk better of yourself, you're better prepared, you know, you have a better GitHub portfolio, etc., 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 right? But fundamentally, you know, you simply have to be better than others, right? And that is a sad fact, but it is a fact. Rebecca, I think you're absolutely right. Unfortunately, I think that based on my experience, a lot of young people today are either incapable of networking or not interested, because that requires effort. Of course, to get a job, the most amazing thing you can do for yourself is meet people, do things with people, right? But look at most of you on this chat, right? All of you are hiding behind some shitty nicknames, right? You sign up on Programmer Network with some stupid, idiotic things, right? And the reason why I get pissed a little bit is that you're not doing none of you are doing yourself a favor, right? As I said many times in this very stream, you should be using every opportunity online or offline to get yourself to a place where you meet people, where you try to impress them, etc., right? So you see, Phil is a correct guy. Phil knows what he's doing. Lois knows what he's doing. Mike knows what he's doing. He's using his name. He's like, hey guys, this is what I'm building. Hey guys, you know, I want to hang out. Let's connect, right? So this is how you build network. Not about putting a fucking, whatever, like anime character with a sword, right? I don't know who you are, bro. I don't know what anime is. What the hell is that, right? So like, this is what many of you lack online. You have your internet presence sucks, right? And you do this, you keep telling yourself, I do this for the sake of, you know, whatever, what is it called? Privacy. What privacy, bro? This is a programmer network. It's not a NSA network, man. Here you put your name and you try to connect with people, you try to talk about technology. Same at LinkedIn, same anywhere. One day I'll bring some recruiters here, right? So I mean, and look, I'm not trying to sell you a programmer network. I don't care. Like, I'm just saying you do this everywhere. I'm sure your Twitter is like this. I'm sure every single thing you do online, it looks like this. And how do you expect then for people to find you and do anything with you? They will not, right? So I never understood that, to be honest. Like, this is not 18th century. Your virtual presence doesn't differ from your physical presence. I'm sure that when you go outside on the street, you're not dressed like an anime character with a sword in your hand. You look like a nice, decent human being you are. And that's also how you talk, right? So why are you making differences online, right? So it makes no sense. So as I said many times, use every opportunity in your life to talk to people, to impress them, right? Online, offline, it doesn't matter where it is. Otherwise, you're spending massive amount of time for what? For nothing. It's, you know. XCV, it doesn't matter. Learn programming fundamentals. Like these frameworks have zero value. You're still young, and I'm still sure you're very far from being a programmer. And there's still stuff that you have to learn. Why am I saying this? Well, I've been doing this for 20 years and I still suck in so many things. So I'm sure you being 17 that you probably also suck at many things. So stay humble, know that you know nothing, and more you know, less you know. And less and more you have to learn. So have a humble, stay humble, focus on yourself and improve yourself every day. Don't focus on others. Be actionable, be proactive, not reactive, and focus on the outcomes and the value and something that you can show for, not talking about things and stuff, because nobody cares about words. People care about actions and something that you can show so they can see and stuff like that, right? So in simple words, focus on these things. Don't complain, react, you know. If you complain, try to provide certain solution to your complaints instead of just complaining, because, you know, complaint without action is just a immature, useless waste of time. Oh, this should be like this. Oh, this should be like that. Meaningless, right? Oh wow, 50 kilobytes, man. So we compressed the image. We compressed the image from 6 megabytes to 50 kilobytes. So that thing actually works. Wow, so nice. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Okay, good. Okay, very, very nice. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. I like it a lot. But fuck, I wonder if is 10 megabytes enough? Like when I take a picture with my phone, is that more than 10 megabytes? How can we like, okay, maybe I will have to adjust this as we go. So maybe that's fine. Let's just have it as it is. No, I mean, absolutely. Look, by no means in Acer I'm saying that I've never done that myself. I have. And that's fine to do it when you're on 4chan or whatever, right? But if you are here, like, for example, this stream is a perfect place for young people or any people to get to know each other, to do something together, to jump on Google Hangouts. Hey, do you want to build something together? Do you want to practice interviews together? You guys are just lacking capability to socially interact with each other. So this is basically an implicit, this is implicit or even explicit, you could say, because I'm talking to some of you, I guess. Now, some of you might find yourself in what I'm saying, but this is a way to give feedback through stream, right? Like, no, Hangouts is there. Actually, next feature we're going to be building for Programmer Network in a while is going to be projects. So hopefully you guys can, all of us can create some ideas there, projects, and join each other projects, build them together. But again, all of that is social interaction, practice and stuff. So if there's two people who don't have a job, young people, and they're sitting all day, every day at home, then why not connect with someone and do that together? Hey, like, hey, person X, I, person Y, I'm in the same boots like you. You know, you wanna connect and build things together, right? So this is what many of you could use, and then you learn how to work with other people, how to interact, how to talk, how to delegate tasks, how to be accountable for your tasks, right? Some people have joined this programming network project, very young people that I onboarded long ago, and everyone except one have actually failed. And they have failed to be accountable. They have failed to lead the things that they were assigned to, right? So many of you might think that, oh, if I could just have a chance to join this and that, blah, blah, blah. But when you do, you don't deliver, right? And that is the problem. So if you join a project, you have to deliver. And there's no, oh, well, I had to go this. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you had to do and why. If you join a project, you have to deliver, right? And if you don't deliver, well, that is the outcome of your work. So that is how it is. That is how it is. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I just thought about it. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Oof. What's not working, man? It is working. I think a lot of beginners who try to get jobs over the last few years have been bitten. Could be, man. Could be. That is tough, man. That is tough. But note that these things have been happening, man, for a very long time. I mean, I think that right now we have AI and stuff, and that's great. And there's some sort of an impression that how this is happening now. But I've been in this industry for 2 decades. Juniors have never been just given job instantly. So has it been better or worse at times? Sure. But note that there was never a time where people were just getting jobs like, oh, let's just hire a bunch of juniors all the time. That has never been the case, right? So you always had to, and I would actually go as far and say that there were times when it was even more difficult, right? All right, we have deployed that stuff. Let's just make sure that production is still live. Okay, it is. Very good. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, that's true, because... Yes, nice. Oh, so beautiful. Okay. In Acer, I mean, yeah, I mean... Look, I think you know me through this stream so far a lot. I'm a realist. I cannot tell... I never sugarcoat things, right? So things are... Yeah, I don't know. What can I say, man? things are often hard, and we have to all go through them, and tomorrow it might be me that gets in the same place. So that's how it is. There's really no answer to that. There's these content creators on YouTube and stuff talking bullshit, making assumptions. That's what it is. It's a fight of whoever wins and gets themselves somewhere, and that's just how it is, man. This most likely happened when I was deploying, and what is this to sorted? Thank you very much for the follows, appreciate it. Yeah, so this was most likely cache or something like that. Very good, very good, very good. Okay. Okay, let me actually now just try here. Give me 1 second. Ah, man, that sucks. What is happening, dude? Why is that? Okay, so that we need to fix. Photo library. Testing. Just trying out new stuff from the mobile device. Done. Post. Let's see. Outplay, thank you very much, buddy, for coming. Have a good night, man. I'll see you another time. Yeah, but what VPN has to do with this, man? That makes no sense. What do you mean it's secure? This website, Programmer Network, is probably the most secure website you ever went to. So what does it have to do with VPN? I don't get it. Okay, nice. And what is the size of this image now? Okay, 136 kilobytes. I mean, yeah, sure. I'm coming. All right, my kid is calling me, guys. Let's round it up. Let's round it up. My kid is calling me. He's knocking my door, and my other kid is gonna go to bed very soon. So we need to round it up. What can I say? As always, guys, thank you very much. It's been fun. You helped a lot, especially with some advices on how to do certain UX things. I'll probably code a little bit more on a couple of things tonight. If you want to get notified when I'm streaming, just join this meetup, as I said many times, because that's where that's where you can get notification when I decide when I'm gonna stream next. And that sums it up. Thanks everybody. Good night. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you guys another time. Peace out, everybody.